Pruning roses seems like a very difficult and scary thing, but it's actually not. It just takes practice. My name is Chris, and today I'm going to share with you a few tips on how to prune roses. The tools I'm going to be using are a pair of gloves. I like these gauntlet ones because they protect my whole arm, a pair of hand clippers, and you might need a pair of long-handed loppers if you have an older, more established rose. So some basic principles to pruning roses are you want to cut them back because what you're doing is you're reinvigorating the plant to produce new blooms. What you're gonna do is you wanna thin out the middle, cut all the deadwood, and cut all the cross branching. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna bring the rose down a little bit in size so I can see it a little better. You're gonna wanna make your cuts at a 45-degree angle right above your buds. A bud is where the plant branches out, like this right here. You wanna cut right above it. The next thing I'm gonna prune is all the dead or damaged wood. Deadwood is all like the dead branches that aren't alive anymore and they're not producing any flower, they're just sucking up energy. And you just wanna cut them all the way back. All right, once you've removed all the deadwood, now you wanna get all the cross branching out. You wanna open it up inside. So if you see this branch right here is kind of growing into the plant. So I'm just gonna cut that one back all the way at the base. So I'm just gonna continue to bring it down in size, and I wanna bring it down about 1/3 of the way. When you're trimming, you just wanna continue to cut back until it's all defoliated. You can cut them back as low as 12 inches if you want. Now that I pruned it back a little bit, I'm gonna step back and I'm just gonna look at it. I wanna make sure that the rose is very evenly distributed because that's gonna determine how nice your rose looks when it starts to grow again. I noticed that it's a little bit more growth on this side, so I'm gonna trim this front side off a little bit more to match the rest. This branch right here is growing a little bit out, so it'll conflict with the inner growth, so I'm gonna trim it off. I also like to take off all the discolored foliage so it can grow back nice and healthy. So now I've finished pruning, I've made sure my plant is very evenly distributed throughout. It doesn't look very pretty now, but it'll be a nice healthy structure for the plant to grow in the future. When pruning a climbing rose, all the principles are the same, except for you want to support the main cane and prune back all the growth that grows off of it. Once you finish pruning your roses, you're gonna wanna wait till you see about 1 or 2 inches of new growth. At that point, you wanna feed with a slow release fertilizer. Roses take a lot of energy to bloom, so don't be afraid to feed about every 6 to 8 weeks. With minimal effort in pruning, you can have flowers year-round.
Here's a recap from today's video. This how-to video is brought to you by Armstrong Garden Centers. Please feel free to visit your local Armstrong Garden Center for all your gardening needs.